The objective today is to subtract integers with positives and negatives. So, before we subtract integers fluently, we need to understand that 5 minus 3 is the same as 5 plus negative 3. Subtraction is only the addition of the opposite of a number. So, if you remember the battlefield method from our previous video, adding integers, my recommendation is, if you don't remember, please go and check that video before watching this one because I explain in detail battlefield method. If we remember battlefield method, we are going to keep using that to subtract integers. So let's do these two examples so we can understand a little bit better. So, in the first example, we have 4 plus negative 3. We're adding a negative number. So, battlefield method. Draw the line after the first integer. Then, you need to check what sign is in front of each number. So, 4 doesn't have a sign. That means that those are positive. Now, in the other side of the line, we can observe that we have 2, but I told you to just focus on the one in front of the number. In this case, it's a negative. So those 3 are considered negative. So positives and negatives will eliminate each other. And remember that elimination is subtraction. So we have 4 positives and 3 negatives. So who has more? The positives are more. That means that your answer at the end is going to be positive. Then we eliminate them. Use the largest number minus the smallest number and subtract the numbers. 4 minus 3 is 1. So the answer is positive 1. 4 plus negative 3 will be plus 1. Look at the next one. We have 6 minus 9. If we go back to what I just told you, subtraction in reality is adding the opposite of a number. So 6 minus 9 is the same as 6 plus negative 9. These two expressions are equivalent. And then we can do the battlefield method. But if we already understand the battlefield method, we don't need to convert to addition. Let's try. So, 6 minus 9. Battlefield method. Draw the line after 6. Immediately after the first number. Then check the sign in front of the number. 6 doesn't have a sign. That means that those are positive. Then, look at the other side of the line. You have minus 9. So, what sign is in front of 9? Well, we have that minus. That minus belongs to 9. That's why it's in the other side of the line. So, you can consider those 9 as negative. So, just focus on whatever symbol is in front of the number. In this case, minus. So, that minus will make those 9 negative. Okay, so now we have positives and negatives. We already know that positives and negatives will eliminate each other. So, we have 6 positives, 9 negatives. So, we have more negatives, so that means that our final answer is going to be negative. And then to get the answer, remember that positives and negatives eliminate each other. Elimination means subtraction. So 9 minus 6. Get the largest number and subtract from the smallest number without the sign, just the numbers. So 9 minus 6, that will be 3, but don't forget that is negative 3. Okay, so the answer of 6 minus 9 will be negative 3. If you are a little bit confused, I am going to quickly show you why the answer is negative 3. Remembering our method using the number line. This method of number line is also in that video, adding integers, that I am going to link here in the description. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. sorry, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we have -1, -2, -3, the negatives to the left of 0. So if we do 6 minus 9 on the number line, that means that we need to start on +6. That means that you're standing there on 6. And then it says -9. So when you see that minus tells you turn to the left and then walk 9 units. So from 6, I'm walking 9 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we can see that is -3. You don't need to do the number line method if you already understand battlefield method. But I just want you to see that we can do the other methods and we get the same answer. Let's try other examples to understand better. So in the first example, we have -4 minus 13. So we can convert this expression to addition and then do the battlefield method. But if you already understood battlefield method, we don't need to do that. So let's try not to convert so we can avoid an extra step. So let's try. Battlefield method. Draw the line after the first digit, immediately after the first digit. Then check the sign in front of the number. So the sign in front of 4 is negative, so those are considered negative. And then in front of 13, we have that minus. But that minus is already in the other side of the line. So that means that that minus now belongs to 13. So those 13, you can consider them negative. So both numbers are negative. That means that they are going to join. And join means addition. Negatives and negatives are not going to eliminate each other. They like each other. So you're adding negatives. So 13 plus 4, you're adding these negatives. So that will be 16, but don't forget that they are negative. So the answer is -17. What about the next one? 26 minus 45. Again, if you prefer to convert this to addition of the opposite of 45 and then do the battlefield method, you can. But I am just going to do straightforward battlefield method since the beginning. So draw the line after the first digit, immediately after that 6 of 26. Check the sign in front of 26. There's no sign or symbol, so those are considered positive. Check the sign in the other side of the line. The sign in front of 45 is this minus, but that minus now belongs to 45. That's why it's in the other side of the line. So those 45 are considered negative because of that minus. And then we can see that positives and negatives, they don't like each other. They are going to eliminate each other. But let's see who has more. So we have 45 negatives, 26 positives. That means that we have more negatives. So the answer for sure is going to be negative. And positives and negatives eliminate each other. So that means that elimination is subtraction. So you are going to subtract the largest minus the smallest. This one borrows. We have 15 minus 6, that's 9. 3 minus 2 is 1, but don't forget they are negative. So, -19. But what happens when you subtract a negative number? So, when you subtract a negative number, you need to reverse the operation, okay? This is tricky when you subtract. So I am going to explain this example using a number line so you understand this reverse operation. So when you subtract a negative, remember that you need to reverse the operation. So let's try this example. 6 minus negative 5. So we can see that we are subtracting a negative number. So if you want to do this on the number line, that means that you need to start on positive 6. So 6, that means that you start here, and then you see minus, so that minus tells you turn around facing the left, but then you see negative 5. So that negative is going to make you reverse, now facing to the right. And then you are going to walk those 5 units. So from there, now you're going to walk 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that your final position is on positive 11. So your final answer is positive 11. So let's try and do it with the battlefield method. So if you draw the line immediately after the 6, those 6 are considered positive because they don't have any sign in front. And then you will say, oh, but you told us when you have 2 symbols to focus in the one in front. But you need to remember this rule. When you subtract a negative, you need to reverse the operation. So here, before selecting the sign, I need to see and observe, oh, here we are subtracting a negative number. So before selecting a sign, I need to do that reverse operation. And that just means that these two are going to merge to form a plus sign. Every time you have minus a negative number, those two symbols merge and form a plus sign. So now we have 6 plus 5, and now we can do battlefield method. So positive and 5 are also positive. So they join, you add, so the answer is 11, as we can see from the number line. So again, I am going to erase here. Before doing battlefield method, if you have a problem where you have this situation, subtraction of a negative, that means that 2 negatives are there together with nothing in between. The only thing that you might have in between is a parenthesis. But that parenthesis, remember that we just write it to make it more neat. But when you have a minus and a negative, that means that these two signs are going to merge and form a positive sign or a plus sign. Okay? Don't forget about this rule that is very important when you subtract integers. So let's try examples. Negative 4 minus 7. So let's do battlefield method. Negative 4 minus 7. So this symbol in front of 4, negative. Here I only have a minus in front of 7. So that minus makes that 7 negative. So negative and negative, they join. They don't eliminate, they join, they like each other. So those will be addition. You add them up. So 7 plus 4, that's 11. But remember that they are negative. So negative 11. But what about this one? Before you do the battlefield line, check. I have that situation where I am subtracting a negative number. So before you do the battlefield line, you need to observe that and be careful and follow that rule. Oh, here I have a subtraction of a negative number, so I need to merge those two to form a plus sign. These two are going to merge That means that you don't have any more minus or negative. They just merge to form a plus sign. Okay, now that I merged them, now I can work on my battlefield method. These are positive. These ones are also positive. So in this case, you add them up. They join, so 14, and they are positive, so 14 positive will be the answer. Okay, so now is your turn. I recommend you to try to use battlefield method. Don't forget about the rule of subtracting negative numbers. It is very important that you identify when you have that situation, okay? Pause this video now, do these problems in your notebook, and when you're done, click play, and I will give you the solution at the end of this video. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me at Numeritos TV on my other social media. If you want to suggest the next objective, please let me know. Bye-bye.